I'm Patti Blaylock, host of your show and owner of Sunset Coastal Grill. Today we have a special guest. Her name is StephanieTrevino, and she just watches the show, came into the restaurant one day, and asked if she could come on and cook. So I'm going to turn it over to Stephanie right now and let her explain what she's cooking today.
Well, I thought it'd be a good idea to make some cheesy beef enchiladas to commemorate Cinco de Mayo, which is on Friday. So brought a bunch of ingredients. We're going to have a really good time making these. It's a lot of work, and Patti will help me out here. But to start things off, I'll explain what we're going to fill the enchiladas with, and then we'll get started with the frying a little bit later. First, you fill your enchiladas with beef, cheese, and onion. And the onion is optional to put in there too, so not a lot of people like that. But
I
just
need it,
yeah, there's a good crunch in there. And then after that, after it's filled and all the sauces are on there, then you top it with your olive and the scallion. So
we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back, and Stephanie is going to show us how to fry the tortillas so that they're just soft enough but just crisp enough for our enchiladas, and talk about the sauce and some of the seasonings that go in to make the sauces. Welcome back. We are getting ready to start cooking. So,
yes,
be our leader, Stephanie.
I will begin. First, you take your corn tortilla. I just got these at the Pig, and put it into some very hot. I use vegetable oil. And just slip that in there. Just make sure your oil is very, very hot, because it'll just take forever, and you don't want too soft.
Yeah.
Exactly. You want to get it to have it hardened around the edges, just enough so you can work with it. So I leave it for about 5 or 10 seconds on one side before flipping it over. But again, you just want that hard edge. That's what you're looking for, and a softer center.
Yeah.
This is coming along well. And what I'm going to do here, this is ready. I'm just going to go ahead and let some of that oil drip off. And this enchiladas are definitely very rich, so you don't eat them off.
And if you don't have a two-man team, because Stephanie and I were comparing notes when we took the commercial break. If you don't have a two-man team, then you can fry your tortillas, stack them between paper towels, and then go back and do the enchilada dipping.
That is very good. And it really is fun to do it together, but if you are by yourself, that's a good idea. And what I'm doing is I am coating both sides of the corn tortilla with the enchilada sauce. Just coat it evenly.
And then I have washed my hands.
Yes. And this is actually something I hope wouldn't happen, but it's a good lesson for everyone. I use my utensils. I keep them separate. Use tongs to do your oil work, and then I use a separate set of utensils to do the sauce, because if the sauce gets into the oil,
then it
just splatters everywhere.
And what I've done is I put some of the ground beef, the cheese, and the onion, and then you put seam side down.
Yes. And tuck it under nicely.
Tuck it under and scoot it over. See, I get to kiss messy fingers.
That's the job I assigned to you. Okay, we're doing number 2.
And I don't know about y'all, but I love enchiladas. Enchiladas and tacos. And the thing about enchiladas is, if you don't want to do ground beef, you can do ground turkey. You can do fish. There's, it's one of those things. Anything you want to put in here. I haven't done vegetables.
I haven't either.
So, but I'm sure
I've done the chicken with a tomatillo sauce and jack cheese. That's also really good. And another thing, too, is learning how to fry your corn tortillas. You could do anything with this. You can make tacos this way, and you can also do tostadas that way also.
Yep. So you just leave them. You either bend them or you leave them flat.
Exactly. So this is something that's very versatile. And delicious. Okay, we're just going to make...
Now we do need to mention that we're using the Old El Paso enchilada sauce. They do all of the work for you. If you're real industrious or have a lot of time on your hands, you can, go to a Tex-Mex cookbook and find a recipe to make this. But, you know, they have figured out how to do it right.
They have. So it is.
And it's so much easier.
Exactly. Yeah. And I was going to say, I brought some of these chilies along with me, as you can see right in here. Those are chili anchos, and that is used to make your enchilada sauce if you ever want to do it homemade. You would just take those chilies and soak them in hot water for about a half an hour. And after that, you put all of that into a blender after you've de-seeded. I think you de-seed them.
Yeah, I believe, yeah.
And de-stem them, and you just blend that right up, and that's your enchilada sauce. So there's...
Now, aren't the anchos the smoked version of a poblano?
I believe so. I believe so. I'm not positive, but they use that and pasilla. There's so many different variations there. But you get the idea. It's very assembly line. You're doing a very good job over there.
I like being part of this show.
Oh,
you know?
Patty, I really, just thought people...
Usually when I have a guest, I just have to sit and watch. So this way I get to stay busy. I can
get to be messy.
Talk and oh yeah, I love being messy. So.
This will be my last one right here. So I think everyone gets the picture of how to make one of these.
Yeah. But generally you would fill up your casserole dish.
Yes. I do about a dozen at a time, and
that's what I kind of usually move mine, squish them up real tight.
Exactly. And I also make, usually when I do these, like I said, I don't make them that often, but when I do, I'll put on a pot of beans and rice also, so it's just gets you in the spirit and the mood.
Oh yes.
And go ahead. Wrong way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, every stove has its own personality.
Yes, I'm just getting used to yours.
I'm still getting used to it.
Very nice.
There we go.
Very nice.
And I am going to go over and wash my hands.
Yes, gotta get cleaned up.
And then, or do you want me to leave my hands dirty while we top this?
Oh yes, the topping. Okay, let me show you. If you're finished and you've made as many as you want to make, you'll go ahead and take some of the sauce and just put it right down the center of each of the enchiladas. And you don't want it to be too saucy.
Yeah, because then they'll be soggy. But
exactly. So you just, and that's about all this dish is just the right amounts of each, and even doing your corn tortillas, it's just that touch, and you'll get that touch as you make these, or you continue preparing these and practicing. And then you're going to top it with your cheese.
And if you want to, I know that there's a Mexican version of cheese combination that you can buy in the bag that's already shredded.
Yes, you can.
That'll work just as
absolutely.
just as well.
You can use any cheese, really, but Mexican cheese is, that crumbly cheese is really delicious. And then you also top it with your olives and scallions.
And see how pretty.
Oh, it's so
and
delicious.
how easy.
Exactly. And a lot of Mexican culture is very colorful.
And one thing about this is if you're having a large group, you can assemble a couple of these pans, set them aside, half an hour, 45 minutes before you're ready to serve it. You pop it in the oven and it's ready to go. And then it's going to go straight to the table. So you can enjoy your guests.
Or you can make them just for two if you want, because you have that power to just make as many as you want. It's very simple.
So I'm going to wash my hands. We're going to take a
We're going
break.
to put this in the oven at 350 for about a half an hour.
There you go. We'll be right back. And Stephanie is going to show us a very traditional salad that is part of Mexican households, and I'm just fascinated to try it because it sounds so interesting. So I'm gonna let you take over.
Well, this is a very simple salad. I've just taken some iceberg lettuce and chopped it up, and then I have just straight lemon juice. Pour that over, just straight lemon juice, and just pour it right into the salad.
And I can imagine that it's going to keep it, the lemon juice will keep it real crispy.
Oh yes, and add great flavor. And then just really salt and pepper it up. I mean, you really have to with all that lemon juice.
Watch how that pepper comes out fast.
And I like to put lots of pepper on this.
And you know, I was thinking about it. when you have all of the spiciness of your food, your flavorful enchiladas and tacos and all of that sort of stuff, and then this would be just kind of that nice calming.
It cuts that richness, and that lemon juice. It has that zing to it.
Yeah.
It really does.
Really refreshing.
Because you don't really have side salads too much in Mexican cooking. So this is that's why I liked it so much, because I love to have salad or something green on my plate. So.
And we were also. I don't think I know. I didn't know the origin of Cinco de Mayo, and Stephanie enlightened me.
Yes. I read a little bit about it, and it actually happened in 1862 when the French invaded Mexico. They came in, and that was the Mexicans defeated them.
Defeated the French. And they did it on
Cinco de Mayo, on May the 5th, in the state of Puebla. So a lot of the Pueblans, they celebrate it over there, but over here in America, we just love it for
the
Mexican
fun.
culture, the food, and the drink, and that's why we did this, to commemorate that.
So would you dish up for
I
us?
will. We have our enchiladas that came out of the oven. Very delicious. And I'll just take, you want one or two?
I just want one.
Okay, great.
And the first one is always the most difficult to get out.
Yes, it is.
It's like pies and...
Like a casserole or something. So I'm going to give you two.
Two. Okay.
So I don't massacre them first. These.
Ooh, yum, yum.
They are good. I'll get this up. Very. This is not what you're supposed to do on a cooking show.
You weren't as kind to yourself as you were to me. I've got all the good stuff on
I
top.
just want to eat.
And
Okay.
a little bit of salad. Thank you.
Side salad.
And then we have a special treat. I don't normally get this kind of a treat. So
We have to. We have to to get in the spirit.
So we and I need to mention also that Stephanie will be getting married in about 3 weeks.
Very close. I'm so excited.
Yeah. And she is marrying Chris Petrie, who his family, mom mostly, I guess, own the Turtle Beach Inn over on Indian Pass.
Indian Pass. It's
So,
an awesome place.
it
Worked there
is.
also. It's great.
Yeah.
You have to come by if you haven't seen it.
And I will let you do the honors.
Thank you.
Okay, stop.
Come on, Patty.
Do you want me to just drop these in?
You can if you want. Yes. Beautiful. Cheers.
Thank you. We are already starting our Cinco de Mayo celebration. I want to take a drink of these, and then I'm going to dive into that enchilada and the salad. Ooh, yum.
Perfect.
Yum, yum, yum. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Oh. No, you're going to have to eat with your fingers.
You're going to get back at me?
Yeah, you make it work with my fingers. It's your turn now.
Good.
Oh, just the right spicy. And that was the mild enchilada sauce I noticed.
Yes, it was.
So,
Perfect. You just need...
yeah, because it just
I
has
used-
a little hint.
I used I used 20 ounces, so 2 cans of it was just enough for about a dozen.
Ooh, good salad. Y'all, you got to try it. And we will see you next week for more Food for Thought. Thanks for joining us.